I wanted to talk about why we refer to higher densities rather than higher dimensions in spirituality, and why we make that distinction and why it's incredibly important. When we say densities, we're referring to the particles that make up that reality. So the closer the particles are together, the higher the energetic vibration of that reality, the faster the rate of time. And the faster the rate of time, the more spatial axes you have access to. So the more dimensions in space that you can actually move in. And we can see this with Einstein's theory of relativity. The faster something moves through space, the slower it moves through time. And this is also shown in the chakra system with the root chakra, and most people only operating out of the three lower ones, the three masculine egoic chakras. They are the longer waveforms, while the upper chakras, feminine and intuition and the subconscious, that we can only gain access to by doing shadow work and understanding why we act the way we do, they are closer together. They are a higher wavelength of light. So that means more information, and you're more in tune with your body's nervous system because you're no longer suppressing all the information that you're getting. And that's also why women are seen as the more sensitive or fairer sex, is because they are normally more in tune with their own body's nervous system. It's why it's a woman's intuition. It's your body, it's your gut instincts that lead you to do certain things. And as you go up in dimensions, this is known as, or densities, this is known as the realm of thoughts and ideas. This is why heaven and hell are both broken up into circles or spheres. And each one, it's not just up here is heaven, down here is hell, and we're in the middle. It's that we're here in the middle, so to say, as arbitrary as that is when talking about higher densities. And then the first sphere of heaven and the first sphere of hell would be around this, like our reality. And then the next sphere of heaven and the next sphere of hell would be at a higher density than those first two, because as you go down lower in the realms of hell, the higher dimensions of hell, you are suffering for longer because time itself is moving at a slower rate. Well, yeah. But the thing is, rather than being in heaven and and everything's more fluid, so you can create and manifest more, in hell things are slower, so your suffering is longer. That's what is trying to be shown in Dante's Inferno when he says that souls are trapped in ice and Satan is eating them. And this is just a little story from my own perspective. I astral project when I sleep, and I astral projected into that bottom layer of hell, and I saw a beast in a pit, and it was both alive and dead, and it was consuming souls, and these souls were essentially frozen. Satan is a type of like cosmological metaphysical black hole, and as you get closer, just like if you were to fall into a black hole in this reality, you appear to be frozen from outside observation, at least, as your soul is being consumed. And that is the role, essentially of hell in a cosmological sense is that it is the past. It is also a representation of more primal desires that we have, the flesh, and is responsible for de evolution and the process of destruction. And that's not to say that this destruction is inherently evil. This destruction must exist so that, if done properly, we can then make room for accepting more light and higher vibrational aspects to come into our lives. It's why when you manifest sometimes, that thing isn't going to come into existence until you face that self limiting belief that needs to be destroyed to actually make room for this new possibility to come in. And we can see this time dilation shown in Hindu mythology, where as you go up in the hierarchical structure of deities, and also in Buddhism, that uh, these beings exist at different time scales. So in Hinduism, Brahma, the creator deity of this universe, is said to exist for 100 trillion years. Even though, from our perspective, our universe is only going to exist on the scale of billions of years. And then Lord Vishnu, the penultimate deity of any kind of individual status, is said to breathe out one time in 100 trillion years, because the dimension or the density that this being exists at is at such a high vibrational level that his entire breath is going to last for our entire universe's time span. And as you ascend higher and higher, you eventually enter what in Hinduism is known as the realm of sweetness, or the land of milk and honey. It is there's no like actual individuality at that point from source consciousness, from God. And we can see this also shown in Buddhism and also Hinduism, again, with uh, depictions of these deities, these archetypes, uh, as having multiple limbs and legs. It's because when you're interacting with these beings, they are vibrating at such a high level that they are splitting reality. So when you're interacting with the one that you can see, all the other ones on the side, the avatars and all that, they're all different versions interacting with another version of you in a parallel reality. And this is why it's shown in Greek mythology that no one can actually see, the true face of a god without dying. It's because they are a higher dimensional, higher density being, and if you are to truly see them, right, and again, not with your physical eyes, but with your third eye, your pineal gland, that activates once you integrate the conscious and the unconscious, the masculine and feminine, then you're going to essentially just fry your entire brain. That's why you can't survive that type of interaction. It's also why the brain communicates through symbolism and dreams. It's a type of safety net to keep you, uh, you know, safe and alive. Because if you're not actually able to interpret if it wasn't done in symbolism, your brain would just be completely fried. So I hope that this helped, and I hope that your understanding of what we mean when we say densities has, you know, expanded as far as your horizons go. Be sure to leave a like, a comment, a subscribe if you liked it, and I'll catch you in the next video.